On today's training, we're going to review invoice inquiry, promise to pays, and creating a follow-up. When a customer calls to inquire about a particular invoice, you can navigate to Inquiries by User, Invoices. Here you can see a list of all of the open invoices. If you're looking for a single invoice, you could type the invoice number into the search right here. And it'll just pull up that one particular invoice that you're searching for. From there, you can pull up a PDF copy of the invoice. You can see the invoice date, you can see the due date, and you can see the amount. We can also pull up the invoice information here as well. So here we have all of the invoice information. And again, if you wanted to pull up a PDF of the invoice, you could pull up the PDF. We have some pre-populated tabs up here where we can see our open invoices. We can see all of our invoices. If we have invoices that are in dispute, we can see in dispute invoices, short pay invoices, and then not complete. So if a particular invoice doesn't have a PDF that's associated with it, if we were unable to bring that in, you would see that in the not complete. Next, we're going to review how to create a promise to pay. So I'm going to pull up a customer's account. And if you remember from our last training, we can view that under the accounts, all accounts, or we can search for the customer in the universal search bar up here. I'm going to accounts, all accounts. And from there, I have a list here of all of my accounts that are in the standard late tab up here. So I'm going to select a particular customer. We'll select this customer here. And I want to go to account detail because I want to pull up the customer's account page. Again, as a reminder, you could also search for the customer in the universal search bar and bring them up that way. So for this particular training, we're looking at how to create a promise to pay. We first need to select the invoice that we are creating the promise to pay for. We can see there's just one invoice on here. So we're going to select this invoice. And then we want to select the new activity. The payment amount or the tagged amount of the invoice you can see is here. And we need to go ahead and create a promise to pay. So let's select the promise to pay. Here we go here. Oh, nope, that's our dispute. Where is our promise to pay? Here we go. New expected payment. We're going to select transactions to see the invoice that is associated with this promise to pay. And then if we go to payment, we can see that it has calculated the payment amount in here. So we're creating a promise to pay for the entirety of this invoice today. From here, what we'll do is we'll put the date that the customer promised to pay by selecting this calendar icon. I typically like to say the best practice is to add an additional week to the date that the customer promised, just to give time for the check to be mailed, entered in as a cash receipt, and then synced into Lockstep. So for this instance, it is today is September the 26th. The customer promised to pay by October 3rd. We'll give them an additional week, which brings us to October 10th. And we want to select customer promised. From there, if there are any notes that you want to put on this promise to pay, you can put that in here. So you can put some notes in here just so when you go back and you look at the promise to pay, you're able to have a better understanding of maybe why you haven't received the money yet or why the promise to pay was created. From there, you would just hit save right here. And then what happens is if the customer does not fulfill their promise to pay, the system will automatically mark it as broken and autofill the remaining info in the actual box. It will also show up under the messages, expected payment promise broken. So if you go here to the messages and you see expected payment promise broken, come October 10th, if we don't have the funds, you will receive a message in here letting you know that the payment promise was broken, and from there you can then reach out to the customer. Next, we're going to look at how to create a follow-up. So follow-ups can be used in conjunction with any activity, or they can just be used by themselves. So we're going to take this customer that we have pulled up already, and we need to go to the overview to get back to the customer overview screen to create a follow-up. So from here, like I said, the follow-ups can be used in conjunction with an activity, or they can just be created by themselves. I'll show you how to do both. So first we will come in here and we will select a new activity. And here we have the follow-up right here. We're scheduling a follow-up. I have it assigned to myself. I could also assign it to somebody else on my team if I needed to. And for the follow-up, we will want to follow up with ourselves today. And let's say we want to follow up with ourselves. We'll do a specific time here. We'll do 12 at noon. And from there, basically what we'll do is we can put in a description here, a quick description as the reason to the follow-up. So customer would like me to reach out to them at noon. And we'll hit save. Oh, we need to add the description. Follow-up test. And we'll hit save. So come noon, if I don't take care of this follow-up, it'll go into the follow-up past due. So here we go. We have the follow-up that I just created, and I can open it up here. And I can see this follow-up that was created with the description. That lets me know I need to give the customer a phone call. Now I will create a follow-up associated with a particular activity. So if I want to go back to this customer again, I need to go to overview. And I'm going to create an activity on behalf of this invoice. So I want to select the invoice and create a new activity. And from here, let's say that I'm logging a phone call. Okay. So in the case of this, I call the customer and they don't answer. The reason that I'm calling the customer is because I want to talk to them about this particular invoice. That's why I've tagged the invoice to the activity. I'm going to put some notes in here. Maybe called the customer, left voicemail about tagged invoice. I did not speak with the customer, so I'm not going to select this, but I want to make sure that I don't forget to call the customer back. So I'm going to schedule a follow-up for myself to call the customer back tomorrow. I don't need to put a description in here because I've already notated in here the reason for the follow-up. From there, I'm going to hit save. If I scroll down on the activities, we can see this follow-up that I just created. And then we can also see here that I created a new activity, which was a phone call. If I hover over the notes, I can see the reason for the phone call. I can see here that it was an unsuccessful phone call, that I did create a follow-up, and that there are tagged invoices on here. So I can see that the follow-up date is for tomorrow. When tomorrow comes around, I will get a notification in my messages under follow-up due today, letting me know that I need to reach back out to this customer and give them a phone call.